All right.
He wasn't picking on me.
No, I
Well,
was
yeah.
at
Hi, Mikey.
Brad. You're here. Everybody's giving me the thumbs up. Thank you. I see some requests out there. Don't worry, we'll call on you guys later to ask questions. We're going to get Brad to give a little state of affairs address. And then I'm waiting for Scott to sign on. Scott, if you're there and I can't find you, just request to speak and I'll add you. But Brad, why don't you kick things off?
Yeah, thanks, Mikey. I appreciate it. And I want to start off by sharing with everyone kind of a one over, and I have a tendency to repeat myself sometimes because you'll see that I'm fairly consistent as an operator. I believe that a company that is trying to become something in the eyes of a shareholder, you have a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it. Um, the opinion and the voice of the shareholders are very important to me. So don't get me wrong. I don't want to be misquoted as I don't listen to the shareholders, but I have to focus on the operation to make sure that we're driving everything to a level of excellence that it needs to be. Um, when I arrived, and it's going over just a little over a year now, and met with Tom and the team, I saw a team that had done some extraordinary heavy lifting to revive a company that was all but dead. And there wasn't a whole lot going on. I understand the love and the admiration that I give to the team with Locked In and Hydrogen Water. Um, but really, if you look at it, especially if you compare numbers operationally, previous years over what we're now in the midst of creating through revenue generation, proper margin settling, looking for avenues where margins will be more beneficial to the company, and getting ourselves aligned into those areas where not only a Locked In can benefit from it, but all the other brands that we're either acquiring a piece of, doing JVs with, or creating. All of that is now the new heavy lifting that's going on. I'll remind everybody about the little proverb of Rome wasn't built in a day. Significant achievements require a lot of time, patience, and I'll go back to the word consistent efforts. That's what you're going to see. Now, the news, everyone's getting really uptight. I've seen some of the the commentary about Adios, where's it at? Why is it not here? We're going to talk about all that tonight. But I'd like to remind everyone, when you look at doing something and doing it right, you have to take time and assess, do we roll it out as is, or do we fix or address, or do we change whatever it is that we know is not going to go over the way we want it to go over? And that's what's going on right now with everything that we're doing. What I'm saying to you is we're a team of people all aligned with the same vision, all getting things ready for the next level of operation, meaning, do I have an accounting team that is able to keep score with all the wins that we're getting ready to book, all the transactions that are going to happen? Do we have the infrastructure set up to where the websites are not going to crash when the orders start coming in? Or do we have the ability to flex when a 10, 20, 30 trailer order comes in? These are all things that if you don't think about now and you don't prepare for something that's going to come 2 months from now, it's going to be an embarrassment for the operation as a whole. Now, I understand, and I too am impatient. Um, we want to see results. We want things to happen now. And I will tell you that there are things happening now. There are things that we could announce, and there are things that we can announce. Because at the end of the day, when we make an announcement, it has to be gospel. Because if it's not exactly right or on the date that is specified, the shareholders lose faith and lose trust. So we try to balance. It's kind of an odd balancing game that we have to work through on, is this ready to talk about yet? We want to talk about everything. We want to throw it all out there. But then you come to the, okay, well, you guys said this, that, and the other, and none of it's come true. And what I'm telling the team right now is head down, focus on your area of expertise, do what you do is good. When you come up against a hurdle or a wall, collaborate. And as a team, we will excel. And that's what's happening right now. I could tell you the last 7 months of shifting from a distribution platform that had lower margins, higher expense ratios, and a lot less love than owning brands, being on the front side of manufacturing with those brands. All of that, you don't just change course of the ship and it's, we're not running a speedboat. We've got disclosures, we've got agreements, we've got negotiations that all have to be ironed out perfectly on both sides to make all of this work. And while we're doing all of that, we have to be very careful about what is shared, because when we share, we want it to be accurate. We do. We care. And I need everyone to understand that, because operationally, I couldn't be more excited about where we're at. But if I were standing on the outside of this operation and looking in and trying to get a glimpse of, okay, what's next? What's next? I get it. I get the frustration. I'm just asking for a little bit more patience. I'm not asking for another year. We're talking weeks and months to get us to where the next level of incredibly good news starts coming to fruition. And that's where I'm excited. I am. You'll see with the team, Tom and Scott and the others that are going to speak tonight, and hopefully field most of the questions that are out there. But I will tell you, the ones that left, and today there was a lot of volume. The ones that left, they'll either be licking their wounds because they secured their losses, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. Or they'll be getting back in at a higher price because now they see the train taking off from the station. And I hope that the majority of the people that are on this call tonight and listening later on to the recording, they can sense the sincerity in my voice and the determination in my voice that where we're going is going to be a really good ride for this company, but we're not going to take shortcuts to get there. It's very important you understand that. And I'm not going to allow news to leak out early if I can control it, because I don't want to mislead anybody on what we're trying to build here. So, Mikey, I guess I don't know if Tom wants to speak a little bit, or if Scotty.
No, thank you, Brad. I appreciate that. Mikey, thanks for putting our spaces together tonight. Um, Very nice summary. Everything you said is 100% accurate. We don't know what our stock does today or tomorrow. We can't speak to that, but we can build the company that we believe will bring the biggest value for our shareholders. And that's our commitment. Nothing's changed. We've been here for years doing it. Adios, of course, is going on, I think, month 7, 8 now. That's been a whole new ride, but yeah, and I'm here to take the questions, the easy ones and the tough ones. We've never shied away from that. Our shareholders are our friends. And if they weren't, we wouldn't be having a spaces on a red day like today. Now, this spaces was promised a week or two ago by me, but obviously doing it on a red day, we can expect to take a little heat. Not afraid of it. So, Mikey, I'm willing to take questions unless Scott wants to jump in and offer a couple, comments before questions.
No, I'm happy to answer any questions that come up, and when the questions around audio start, I'll be happy to address them.
Okay. Go ahead, Mikey. What do you got, bro?
Well, we got JT raised his hand, so let's just call on Joe. Joe, you're now a speaker. Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you, Mike, for putting this together.
No problem. Thank you.
Um, Brad, I think that was quite an introduction. It was a lot of corporate speak and a lot of pretty nice word salad you put together. I don't want to go back into history. I think Wallace did a pretty good job of that last time. But on this Adios deal specifically, you guys talk about having all your ducks in a row and not announcing anything, but you get on shareholders for being impatient or being or wanting deadlines. But I'd like to say that you guys are the ones who came out and made the announcements, right? And then you walk it back like everything else that's been walked back here in the past. So my question about Adios is what is the deal that LTNC is actually what part of Adios is LTNC actually a part of? Right, you guys now are no longer manufacturing or distributing in house, right? You've now shipped that off as well. So, what does that do to the profit margins? The licensing deal. How can you guys break that down a little more specifically on what that entails for LTNC?
I can take a shot at it. This is Scott, by the way. So lots of things going on with Adios. And full transparency, the last hurdle for us was this strawberry margarita. And we worked hand in hand with the cookies team. They were flying people out to the manufacturer, and it literally took about a month or probably 6 weeks to get it done. What I will add is we've secured two of the largest distributors in the country, names everybody in the industry knows. That gives us instant credibility. We'll be announcing those in the next week or so. Our initial rollout covers 6 key battleground states, which are Texas, California, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, Ohio. These are some of the fastest moving markets in beverage. We also have started and we have lined up our first major partner in athletics. It's a major university, and we're very excited about that. I'll be announcing the terms of that deal. It's a 3-year deal, and I'll be announcing all the detail on that over the next couple of weeks. In addition to that, we have celebrities I'll be announcing, athletes, other endorsers, and these endorsers are true partners. I also want to add that the even bigger picture is every brand that we're currently launching and working through it has a tie to the Pacquiao Foundation, which we've really strengthened that. So every case sold isn't just revenue. We're building a portfolio that's designed to scale nationally and globally and give back to the Pacquiao Foundation and be a part of what all that stands for. So the delays were, you know, something that we were trying to avoid. It's been a 12-round fight. It's been 7 days a week for 7 months. This started with a conversation in January or February to negotiations to samples to artwork to you name it. It's hard to launch a brand for anybody who's ever done it. You know what I'm saying. So that's kind of the update. Um, and Tom, you might want to provide some color after that. Does that answer your question?
I guess my
I think
question is, shouldn't these changes have been made or implemented before you put out a pre-order, a pre-purchase date, and a pre-delivery date? And it seems to keep getting pushed back and pushed back. But
No, we're filling
those are
we're filling cans this week. We pushed it back and said it would be the week of the 8th. We're filling this week. So we'll be shipping in the next week. With that being said, with our pre-orders, so we had 135 million impressions day one. So on July 17th, the Brad mentioned it earlier, the website literally couldn't handle what we had going on. So we, at the beginning of that, again, full transparency, for most of that first day, we couldn't take orders. We were just having customers filling out forms. So
So Adios is not. I'm sorry, the cookies brand is not running the infrastructure. Is that LTNC,
no.
the
As
back
part
end?
of the cookies team is. So
Okay.
our license is with the distribution side of cookies. So what I was saying was, so we had that, and then we had the orders happen. So it's been a lot, and we're even going to have to go back to some of those people that have ordered and ask them to upload their information, and we should start to take credit cards here in the next couple of days, and we'll get this process ironed out. It definitely hasn't been seamless, but we're really excited about where we're headed.
I just want to jump in if I could, Scott. Again, thank you. I know how hard you're working. You're bro. We can get you some relief with that team we interviewed today. So, Joe, you're asking some wonderful questions. You asked specifically about licensing. How does it work? What are the margins? Brad can speak to that if he's comfortable disclosing. And then before he does, I want to share that, um, like you said, why don't you guys get everything ironed out before you announce it? I think that would probably put this launch that's taking 7 months to produce dozens of truckloads of product in printed cans, top class, top flight, everything. It would have stretched it out to probably a year and a half or 2 years. Could you imagine where we'd be today if we didn't say anything until those samples were approved by the cookies team? How far back we would be? This would be a multi-year effort. So sometimes you come out with your best plans and you pivot when things don't work out. And I'm still extraordinarily pleased with what we're accomplishing. So even though it's not exactly as we had hoped or planned, but in hindsight, I can't share why per se, but everything seems to have lined up for a reason. Like this, I'll just give you an example. Like an interview we had today with the sales team is critical for the sports and Coliseum program that Scott secured for us. Like the timing of that couldn't have been done any differently, and it had to be done this way. So I can't disclose things, guys. It'll all come out in the next couple weeks. But with that, Brad, are you comfortable discussing margins, licensing, how it works? Because Joe asked some very specific, and I thought they were great questions.
Yeah, so it's a well, let me back up. Joe, you highlighted what I tried to articulate earlier in the preamble of this conversation, and that's the balancing act of, is it time to announce or is it not? And I can tell you on our side, we get giddy about wanting to talk about stuff. And it's a control mechanism of trying not to announce something too soon, because when you have to walk something back, it's a punch in the gut. We don't take kindly to it. It's a miss. So to Tom's point, uh, we would love to talk about all of it and just have a open conversation. But again, there's people scribing notes, recording, and holding the leadership accountable for what we say. And we want to be very careful that we're trying to give you as accurate and as timely of an announcement as we can to keep everybody excited about what we're doing. But at the same time, meter it to a point where we don't have to walk it back as much. I'm telling you right now, in heavy lifting, new products hitting the market, establishing SKUs, getting into all the different stores with the proper codes going in and descriptions and advertising, uh, promotions, everything, all of that stuff. And just one small little, hey, what about this? And you're 2 weeks behind. And I think from what Scott's been able to do with the team at Cookies, because I've heard the calls, I've been on the calls and listened to the tremendous amount of detail in this launch. This isn't just somebody sitting in a, garage brewing something and going, I'm going to take it to the farmer's market, see how it sells, and then maybe I can get it into Whole Foods. This is a scaled launch plan. And yeah, there are going to be delays in this level of detail. It's just going to happen. And we try to meter it the best we can, but it happens. As far as the details, it's a 5-year joint venture licensing agreement with cookies. Can grow into other SKUs, other flavors, other types of drinks. Adios is owned half and half by LTNC, half by cookies. Distribution is being done by the cookie side of the business. And we are making the lion's share of the margin, if you will. But we're running this as a separate project, P&L JV, if you will. So it's true transparency between both companies. What you'll see on our side is revenues are revenues. All the revenues are going to run through. Margins are made by the different people and entities involved. And that's pretty much how it's going to work. Profitability is going to be gained with volume and expense reduction. The more volume we do, the margins get better. And just as an example, Scott going to printed cans is going to do an enormous cost savings for us. And we'll see that in runs 2, 3, and 4 because there's a bigger lead time for printed cans.
I think run 3, Brad. I don't think run 2 has the reduction in COGS on the printed cans.
It is
Where-
run. It
Gotcha.
is run too, fellas.
Oh,
It
okay,
is.
great.
And
Excellent. Thank
let
you.
me add this to what
So
you were saying, Brad. So it's 5 years, then it automatically renews for 5, with 3 years after that.
So, as you can see, we're in this for the long haul. 7 months to make a launch is not abnormal at all. Actually, it's pretty aggressive, pretty aggressive on the scale that we're launching. And all I could say is, we have to be patient and allow the process to work itself through. And one disclaimer I want to make sure everyone knows: Whole Foods is a incredible company to work for and work with. I was not trying to downplay Whole Foods or any farmer markets as beneath us, just in case people are writing things down.
All right, Joe. Thank you very much, Joe. Let's go on to the next question from Big Bull Trading. I'm going to add you as a speaker. Common Sense Big Bull Trading, you are a speaker.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
All right. I've got a laundry list of items, but I think you guys acknowledged up front that you guys bring this on yourself. I mean, you make commitments, you communicate to shareholders, and you consistently backpedal or drop the ball. So I think, from a leadership perspective, you got to look in the mirror and say, hey, we got to change the way we're doing business because it's obviously not working. You've got some of your most loyal shareholders that are just completely besides themselves. I mean, my 14-year-old could communicate better than leadership at this point. It's really concerning. So, with that being said, the first thing is the SS reform plan that you guys have talked about. There's been no details. You've talked about retiring shares, but at the same time, you continue to dilute and drive up the OS. So, let's start there. What's the plan?
So let me take this one, guys. I've been here the longest out of Brad and Scott. So the when we got this company, it had over 15 billion shares. When
Yeah.
I came in to try and get it pink trading again after the previous management destroyed it, and that 15 billion, mind you, did not include many commitments that were made prior to us taking over
I
that
understand
needed.
that. Tom,
Okay,
we don't need to go back a year. Let's go back to 2 months ago, whenever you guys announced an SS reform plan and retiring shares, and the dilution was going to slow or continue to stop. There were no details on the SS reform plan, but you guys continue to dilute. It's like spitting in the
well,
face of the shareholders, is what it is.
okay, so let's talk about the word dilution. Okay, we don't have any toxic notes diluting. No insiders have sold shares, to my knowledge, to date. So nobody's received a penny from share selling. When you use the term dilute, does giving Manny Pacquiao shares for everything he did for Adios, are you saying that was dilutive?
No, what I'm saying is that even if you look at the filings, Tom, we don't have to go through them, but shit, man. I mean, every time I turn around, you've given 100 million, 100 million, 250 million, a billion. You issue yourself new shares. And the selling that we see, let's not make it sound like it's shareholders exiting. Okay? That's not normal volume. And the OS being continued to be driven up and the DTC being driven up, let's just be honest. You guys are continuing to dilute, and if you're going to make commitments on an SS reform plan, don't continue to exhibit behavior that's contrary.
That I agree with. That I agree with. But I want to let you know a lot of the shares that have been issued recently are paying for obligations that were done even years ago, where people issued, put money in, and PPMs have to convert from a private placement into a share issuance.
I,
And at my direction, I have said the same thing you've said. Guys, we're not going to come out and announce a plan for this and we're going to do that and here's where our numbers are going to go when we're still in the process of quantifying everything that still needs to be done. So you're right on one tally, which is yes, shares are being issued. Where I believe you may be incorrect is you're using the term dilute as if it's toxic dilution to benefit the company, and it's not. It's us paying the bills for the commitments that were made on behalf of the shareholders, not only from us here, but from those that came before us. Since the company's been rescued, these people want what was coming.
I understand that.
And
That's not even the biggest. Like I said, I got a laundry list, and we're on the first thing here. But
well,
Well,
but
then,
whenever
you
then
gotta
feel
you
free.
gotta you gotta pick up the pace then, because we're not going to be here for
all
three
right,
hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
well then
So I hope.
don't just talk to me. I'm not. Listen, I'm in sales myself. Don't sell me on anything. I just appreciate the honesty. As far as the reform plan, where's the reform plan?
You've heard me say for years that I've always had a dream and a vision to bring the share structure down, but I've never quantified a definitive plan.
Brad has
That's
announced
why
it.
it's ne-
Brad PR'd it.
right. We have
Yeah, where's the details on the share reform plan that was PR'd?
that is a work in progress. I will tell you this today. I signed, bro. Look, we're being honest.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Nobody's
feel like it's
nobody's trying to
unfortunate. It's
deceive you.
unfortunate that the conversation had to get to this point to have an honest conversation. Don't tell people what they want to hear. Be honest, straightforward, and people respect that. I've been in sales for 40 years. Don't bullshit a bullshitter.
You know, yeah, you don't sound that old for the record, but
So you're in sales
I
as
can
well.
tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, of course. I just sound older because I've aged in dog years here. So look, we have a share reform plan that is being um, I've negotiated, outlined, and defined. But again, in complete agreement with you on this one topic, we must get everything done in order to come out with that definitive plan. Now, today, I can tell you, Brad and I each, I think, I don't know, that there was a share cancellation today from 4 or 5 different entities or people. I won't get into it because that would be divulging inside information. I think that was a 4 billion plus share decrease. That's part of our plan. Big bull trading. That's part of our plan. But I cannot allow a plan to be put in the public that we can't stick to when it comes to something so critical as share
Then don't
structure.
announce
So
don't PR it. Again, you guys bring this on yourself.
But that was a material event. That was a material event when we did the Go Fast deal, and we came up with an opportunity to take 3 or 4 billion shares out of the market. That was a material event. So, and it was part of our plan.
That's
Where
great.
what? Okay,
Listen, I get you, Tom. I think the frustration is because it's not just that. It's
I know. Well, go
yeah.
on to your next one. Yeah,
Okay,
and then yeah,
15 C211 that we've been talking about for months and months, maybe damn near a year at this point.
I think it's
What's
been a
the
year.
details?
Yeah. Okay, so
I,
we've switched gears from Glendale to another provider. I don't know if that's been made public, so I don't want to share it. They made us a better offer to get it done. It is in process. Many things have changed with the company, which is requiring massive revisions. Um, it's just been delayed, but it hasn't been for lack of effort. Um, I don't know if that answer satisfies you, but I can promise you that's just the truth. Brad is spearheading that with Shannon at this point. So, Brad, if you want to just give a little commentary, you can.
no, I'm taking it on personally. I'm myself frustrated with the agonizing delays, and the questions are good because that keeps it front and center for me. But now it's on my desk to keep pushing it, and we'll get it done.
Yeah, it's just like I said, there's a laundry list of things. If you could update shareholders rather than just go silent on things that you talk about, I think, communication is the key to any healthy relationship, whether it's business or personal. You hear me say that quite often, I'm sure, if you read my tweets.
We do. We
Yeah,
do. I hear you.
yeah.
I hear you, Big Bull.
Okay.
So, how would you suggest we do that? So, I'll just throw this out there. I get many direct messages. I get lots of, hey, Tom, tagged, questions with tags. Okay. We do Brad puts out tweets, we put out PRs, we do spaces periodically. How would you suggest would be the best way to communicate with the shareholders?
I would look at, like, and I'm not gonna. I'll give you a company offline in the OTC. I'll send you a direct message. But they have an
Okay, thank you.
investor relations page, and they update that investor relations page, and it gets tweeted out, through the social media channels, and it updates shareholders on activity that's taking place. That way, not people aren't wondering all the time and then trying to track down you or Brad to get answers to things that have been committed on.
So an investor
And we
relations,
are building a web page just like
yeah,
that. So I appreciate that comment. I can feel it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean,
okay.
again, people aren't in the dark. You're updating, an investor relations page, and people can go there and they can see. And whenever you update it, maybe it shoots out an update via social media feeds. You know,
I'm not smart enough to figure that out, but I guarantee you somebody is. That is under construction. It's going to be with our new name. So it's being constructed under the new name and the new website when we do our facelift, for lack of a better word. But that's another great suggestion, Big Bull.
okay,
Continue.
yep.
Yeah, continue.
Snack company that we took partnership in. I think nearly a year ago. Where are we at with any updates on that?
Um, Brad and Scott can jump in if they want, but this is a good news, bad news. The bad news is that we caught those, if you recall the conversations, we caught that delay with the administration change because of all of our manufacturing was scheduled for Mexico. We had to pivot, and we did. And during that pivot, Adios was born. Scott became pregnant, gave birth to Adios, and it has taken up all of our time to focus on this launch. So the bad news is it's on our radar. I don't expect anything material to take place till probably early 26. That's my best conservative guess. Um, but in the meantime, LTNC has earned and bought additional percentage of those brands. So now we have a bigger percentage of that company. So when it does roll out with these very popular brands that we know are going to succeed, it's going to be better for all of us.
Great. Where are we at with Sensora?
Sencora. Scott,
Sencora.
that's all you, bro. Sencora.
Yep.
You're not the only one that mispronounces it. Okay, Scotty, what do you got?
We're in a great position with Syncora. We have been working through some red tape to get launched on their website. Um, we're moving forward. We've been working with their IT team and their integrations. We had trouble tickets yesterday. I think they were resolved late afternoon today. So our GLP-1 Nutra gummies, those first 4 SKUs will be the first 4 on there. We're super close to being live. This will open up multiple categories for us. You're going to see a new brand that'll be announced here soon that we've done in conjunction in partnership with Syncora for the hydrogen water, the functional gummies, the stick packs, even our K cups. And we have other SKUs that we're working on that are more along the lines of that GLP Nutra semaglutide support uh, flavor. We have that, and we also are working with B12 and peptides. The relationship is phenomenal. They've introduced us to their European team. The relationship came through an introduction through the Pacquiao Foundation. We've had some in-person meetings and several virtual meetings, and very excited. I think it's something that's going to grow exponentially month over month. So I would expect to see our gummies there by week's end, and then I would expect in the next 2 to 3 weeks you'll hear about the announcement and read about the announcement of our new brand name that's going in there, and kind of the upgrades to some of our existing products. And yeah, I'm really excited about that relationship.
Good. Awesome. Good to hear. Where are we at on Go Fast? I know we spun that off.
Well, we didn't spin it off. It's not owned anymore.
Okay. So it's been sold.
You can comment on that, Tom.
Yeah, I think we put out the press release. So we sold Go Fast to Golden Triangle Ventures.
Right.
It helped us with a debt reduction, yet we retained the portion of the brand that we really wanted, which is the manufacturing. And we have a commitment from one of our favorite CEOs over at Golden Triangle
Yep.
for the manufacturing.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so on that commitment right there, what are our margins? Can we talk about that? Are there any, forward looking, like outlook? What does the outlook look like?
Well, carved out a pretty good deal there. Brad, you can elaborate on the contract deal, but we get a large percentage of anything we sell, and we're also going to be doing the manufacturing exclusively.
Right.
And then we also get, if the brand itself sells, we've worked in a deal on that. By the way, that is in our Adios deal as well. If
Nice.
that brand sells at any time, we get 50%.
Excellent. Do we have projections for Go Fast? I know people have been waiting a long time for that to get back on shelf.
Paul, I don't have any specific projections in front of me right now. I'm sure you
I
saw
think I think those need to be directed to the CEO of Golden Triangle, the new owner of the
I
brand.
agree.
Okay.
Well, the other piece, the details that you're asking for, Big Bull, the definitive agreement is still being worked on. I think once that's done, that's when both sides of the transaction can announce what the deal looks like. But it's going to be very favorable for both sides, especially with the distribution that Scott talked about that we'll have announcing with Audios. You're going to be able to piggyback some of the other product and lines. And I want to emphasize how hard the team is working. We didn't want to neglect Go Fast and its consumer base 1 minute further. There's only so much time and resources that we can commit to make this all work. And Adios has been such a hog when it comes to that, in a good way. So Go Fast, going under Javier, who has a passion for that brand and product, I think is going to serve well for everybody, both sides of the
And when
agreement.
do we anticipate those to go live or manufacturing to begin?
I'd have to ask Javi on his timeline. We don't have that as far as
Yeah,
Go Fast you're
correct.
talking
Or
about.
at least, on our
Yeah,
distribution, if we can start filling cans, then we're starting to recognize revenue.
I know he's pushing really hard to get that into into production as soon as possible. I know he's working on that.
And then locked in products, updates on the nootropics.
That's all. That's all in manufacturing. That's all in process, being manufactured, like being poured, shipped, all of it. Like when I say shipped, from ingredients, manufacturing, not shipped to you guys.
That's what I was asking. When do you
Yeah.
anticipate it being available to retail?
I think not. Oh wait, retail, or when you say retail, you guys direct to consumer
Yeah,
retail.
direct to consumer is
I've been told. I have been told not this Friday, but next Friday.
okay.
That's what I've been told.
And then I guess I'd piggyback on retail.
I think I would elaborate on what Brad said is, this team that we're contemplating hiring, when you have a horse like Adios to go before you, then you get to say, oh, by the way, you're going to carry A, B, and C. So,
Okay.
whoops, am I still? Oh boy, I thought I lost you guys. Anyway, so right now there's no direct plans or contracts for retail, but it's part of our, sales and marketing plan for all brands.
Sure. Go far and wide once you get in. Sure.
Yep, that's exactly
I
correct.
just I just got word from Javier. Thanks, Javier, for chiming in. They anticipate having manufacturing and supply going out to customers by the end of September, and he's in active talks with Aruba in Germany as we speak for Go Fast.
Okay.
Hey, Big Bull, thank you very much. You made my job a lot easier because I had about 9 questions written down, and I think you asked every one of them. So that was perfect. Do you have any last question before we go on to the next
No,
speaker?
I'm good. I just hope we can learn from this. I mean, you can hear the frustration in my voice, at the start of the call. So,
Yeah, we got you, though. You've always been very positive, and
yeah.
I know you're supportive and you're passionate, just like we all are. We've been here for 4 years, most of us, some of us longer. I get it. Definitely get it. Thank you. I appreciate your
So
your
do I.
question.
Thank you, Big
Yeah,
Bull.
let's fix the issues. Investor relations is key, you know.
Gotcha.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Yep.
you. Greeny, go ahead. You are now a speaker. Greeny, your mic is live. All right, Greeny, I don't know if you're still with us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove you from a speaker and I'm going to go to Wallace. Wallace, you are now a speaker. Go ahead, sir. Wallace, you are now a speaker. Go ahead, please.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, how you doing?
Pretty good. That was a exciting 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions asked there, and some of them are easy, some of them are tough, but they answer them how they can. But what do you got, bud? Me and you, we're friends. I
Tom,
I, I know you probably got a good one.
coming straight for Tom.
How can I help you, sir?
In the last spaces, you stopped me when I said that every PR had been a failure. You said it was subjective. All right, 15 months into a 3-month timeline on the 15C, 11 months, and now you're saying the snack business is kicking even further down the road. Legacy, 175 years experience. What was it, 9,000 stores, and it's dissolved. How? How can you say that's objectively not a failure? What can you tell me? I want to hear it from you. What was the success in the last year? Because until, Adios hasn't happened yet, I see no success.
Well, I think, okay, thank you, Wallace, for keeping track and your question. So, look, we go into every deal with our everything we've got to make it right. But sometimes you have to acknowledge that the wrong decision was made. And sometimes the best decision in business is to cut your losses and move on, whether it's trading, whether it's buying a car, a boat, or a business. And we have had to make some very difficult decisions as it related to some of our ventures in Colorado. And if we didn't pivot and we just stayed in it because we were afraid to upset a shareholder or because we said this, we would have died on the vine. Every shareholder, including ones like me who are invested multiple seven figures personally, let alone the time, have got to thank every person on the team that said, it's time to move on. Let's pivot. Let's figure out our next great thing. And we did. And here we are on the verge of the launch of what is anticipated to be one of the most explosive brands in the next year. Now we're hearing that from internal surveyors, if you will. So maybe that is subjective. But Wallace, everything we do with great intent. And sometimes, like I said, you take the L, you move on, but you don't quit, you keep going. You know, my boat in Florida is named Let's Keep Going. Every tweet I put out for the last umpteen years has been let's keep going. The hardest thing would have been for you guys to hear that these ventures didn't work, we made a mistake, and we can no longer continue. Because then you would have been right back where you were before April of 2024. Expert markets, no business, and not trading. So I would suggest that we reframe your subjective question and flip it to the glass is half full. Thank God we pivoted. Use Big Bull as an example. He's pissed. He ain't happy. Shit's taking longer than it should. But he ends the call or his questions with let's learn from this and let's be better. And those are the conversations that we have internally every single day. And to Brad's dismay, last Sunday, 3 hours board call, not an official board meeting. So forgive me for that, but the board members on a call for hours trying to figure out, you know, the next step and how we're going to start this week strong with the launch coming up. So I don't want to pontificate and try and sell, so to speak. You guys know my flavor, you know my enthusiasm, and you know the way I speak. I'm here because I believe in it. Yeah, we've had some failures, Wallace. We've owned up to them, we've pivoted, and now hopefully these are going to be the wins that erase your memory from all that bad stuff.
I'd like to add something on that, Tom, if I could.
Well, ask Wallace.
Yeah. Well, Wallace, and I don't know you or the history, but I just like to speak because you said legacy, and although a lot of what came out of legacy, you know, we bought legacy or the assets of legacy of New Age, which was going bankrupt or went bankrupt. That operation was a $60 million operation. All of what you read in the PR was 100% accurate. It was a very big and expensive operation, and it led to a lot of opportunities, some seen in the public and some to be discovered that are coming out. Um, and all I can say is it was in the beverage industry. It allowed us to see where uh, the diamonds in the rough were, and it allowed us to make connections and do things that put Labor Smart in a very good position to pick and choose what it wanted to take with it or what it wanted to leave. And to Tom's credit, knowing when to cut, and it's a painful process, but knowing when to cut and to pivot the business into something that is even better, that's what we're seeing right now. And some of it's not able to be talked about yet, but it's coming soon.
If you're always chasing the next best thing, but you have no, I'm just saying, if you look at everything, legacy, 25 million was what we was told, 9,000 stores. Every person associated was putting their rockets and putting their mind blown emojis, and I mean, it's every time. And if it was one thing, I get it, but it's been every deal. 6 months, kick the can down the road. oh, this happened, we got screwed, blah blah blah. I mean, show us one thing. That's what we're waiting for. One thing, and you turn us all around.
And that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on.
Hey, Wallace, watch the next week or two. You're going to see a lot more than one thing.
But
I want
the
to
thing the
go
the
ahead,
thing
Bob.
is, if we watch the next week or two and we see two things, 6 months later, are they going to be abandoned? Are they going to be,
No,
oh, this guy screwed us? Oh, the snack thing is absolutely blowing my mind. You put out officially on a traded company that I bought shares on 760,000 cases pre-sold. I would be furious knowing that I'm waiting 2 damn years on my snacks.
We listen, Wallace. First of all, I totally get where you're coming from. I see your tweets. I don't like them one bit, but look, this is the seat I'm in, and this is the life I chose. So I got to take the heat, right? It. Think about us that have done a lot more than just buy shares, but actually funded the operations that didn't materialize for us, and and Brad having to go to the employees that had to be cut that worked for him for years because those things didn't come. Yeah, we're mad, all right, but we don't get to sit here and cry in our Wheaties. We don't have a choice. You guys count on us. We made a commitment and we have to make the move. And now we've made the move to not chase that shiny thing right now, push it off to the left, keep it in a placeholder, and focus 100% on Adios and Sencora. And when we talk about Sencora and our direct to consumer business with the brands you guys have come to know and love, the hydrogen water. And the nootropics and the coffee, the stick packs and the artesian water and the alkaline water. All those things are in play for you guys, and as the other brands come forward and we get more public, you'll see those come to life too. So when you say give us one thing, we've given you seven or eight. They're just not amplified right now. So let us get Adios launched. Let's pray, Wallace, that nothing bad happens and everything works according to plan. And then let's hope all the little brothers and sisters in the lineup come along with it. And you'll say, you know what? At the end of the day, it was worth the wait. These are the conversations we have internally.
Wallace, thank you very much. You got anything else, Wallace?
No, that's it. I appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy. Tom, before I go to the next question, I've got a couple things that were sent in to me. Uh, Number one is, can you give an update? Is there an official locked in logo change?
Nothing official. No,
Okay, because
nothing official. They're playing with it. Scott's playing with it a little bit. I think he's got some requests from some of his clients. So I think they're playing with the lock, without the lock, you know.
gotcha. Yeah, that was sent in, and then they just want to make sure we're going to still use the locked in. So it sounds like if they're still playing with the logo, we're still going to be using the locked in. It's not going to totally change. So that was pretty much
Yeah.
it. Let's go to Eskimo Trader. Eskimo, longtime shareholder, longtime Discord member. Go ahead. Some of these guys have had their hands raised for a while, so they might not be by the computer. Oh, there
What's
we
up,
go.
guys?
Hey, Eskimo, how you doing, bud?
Great, man. Appreciate you having me. On the university deal that was mentioned, what products is that for? Can you disclose that?
I'm
adios.
not saying a word. Okay, go ahead, Scott. All right.
It's just Audios, or is it any of the
Correct.
water?
Just adios for now.
Okay. If I wanted to make an introduction to you guys to a major university for beverage purposes, how do I go about doing that?
Mikey, can you pass my contact info along? This is Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Eskimo, get a hold of me later, and I will pass everything on to you. And if you want to send it right now while we're on the call, you can send it to spaces@lockedin.com, and I will get it to Scott.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're really excited. I think that's just the the first domino to fall in that whole uh, world of sports and venues and that. We're working with some of the biggest players in that space to add on some additional arenas and things of that nature. So I'm very excited about it. Um, right now, everything's pointing to national TV exposure on October 11th. So, but yeah, I'd love to. You know, these are the kind of things I eat up. So, anybody listening, if you have any opportunities like that, I'm all ears and would always love to work with you on them.
Yeah, athletes reach out to us all the time. I had a former retired NFL player reach out to me a couple months ago. Unfortunately, we had a pass on him for different reasons, which was a really solid pass. But superstars do reach out once in a while. We just had to duck this one. That was a good duck. Anything else, Eskimo?
That's all. I appreciate it. I'll reach out to you. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, bud. Let's go to Greeny again. I see you requesting again, buddy. Greeny, I made you a speaker again. You just got to unmute your mic. Maybe I can do it for you. Nope, I can't.
I got it. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
How you doing? How you doing, guys?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Greeny.
There's been a lot of exciting days, a lot of disappointing days. I've been a shareholder for 5 years. I got a large amount of money in this company, which is not even the point. There's a lot of frustration. I'd like to know a couple of things about the Adios deal. Is this just a brand licensing deal, or are you guys completely partners? Are you licensing out the brand and doing everything on your own and paying a royalty, or is Cookies actually involved with you? You know,
It's all
I'm a. Go ahead.
it's all of the above. So we're full partners on Adios. We license the brand from Cookies Distro. We own the license, meaning LTNC, but we have a revenue share on profits uh, based on our agreements. We get the lion's
So,
share, as Brad spoke to earlier. But we
so
work with the
production is
cookies.
based.
We handle
So
all the production ourselves. Their role is to handle distribution, and together we handle the marketing. We have twice weekly calls with the cookies team and their entire marketing staff, and it's a robust staff. It's between 16 and 25 people on those calls twice a week, and yeah, it's exciting. So it's both. We're like we own the license and we're partners.
okay,
I,
what I want to understand, because I've have licensing agreements. I have a licensing agreement with Frigidaire.
Hmm.
I know how long it takes to launch a product. I've been there. I understand it. But when you say they're your partners, that means they have to approve things. Are they actually
They
your
do.
partners,
They do
or are
have to
they
approve.
just, or,
They
or
have.
they just, or you're just a licensing agreement that you're really doing everything? And it seems that you guys have cash issues because you're talking about things and your production seems really off. I've had product ordered that took me weeks to get. I've had product order that had the same unfortunate smell that I had from the beginning. I don't want to,
Well,
I just,
explain to me, what do you mean production seems to be off?
um, you know what? You said you're launching August 16th. It's a
Right.
month later.
Correct.
You know what? It's very frustrating that we look like we were going somewhere. And right now, from that date that you said you were going to launch, the stock's down 90%.
Well, I don't think
And
that's all based on that, but I mean, maybe you're right. But
something is something is going on. Today's 250 million shares traded. Something is going on.
there's
let
Shareholders
me
are
ask.
not trading.
I can answer
Shareholders are not
questions.
trading.
I can answer questions around Adios. I don't know.
Oh, let me jump in, Scott. Let me jump in. So, Greeny, I want to ask Big Bull a question. Mikey, give Big Bull uh, the microphone if you could. Did the short report came out and it said LTNC was shorted like 150 million shares today? Can that report be relied on, Big Bull? I don't know the answer. I'm asking sincerely.
I'm looking for Big Bull. I'm looking through 140 names. If he's still here, maybe he can raise his hand.
Why would somebody short a stock that's not even a tenth of a penny?
Yeah,
What
it's
kind of money
crazy.
can you make? It's not even
It's
money.
Okay, it's absolutely insanity to me. That's why I'm just trying to see if it's even true. Um, but I don't have I don't have explanations for a huge dump like today. I will repeat, I don't know of any insiders that have sold any shares to date. I know
I want
nobody here has,
let
and
me
there's
ask
been
you
no toxic dilution. All right, go ahead.
let me ask you another question in reference to Golden Triangle. Is this the same ownership? Is Golden
Is what?
Triangle is the same ownership as LTNC, and you're just transferring product to one to the other to make us look like there's something going on?
No, no, Greeny, stop, please. The ownership of a public company belongs to the shareholders. Now, if you're saying is it the same management team, the answer to that question is a resounding no. The only ties to Golden Triangle, if you guys remember, I came here because I was a private investor in LTNC in in June, I think, of 21, I made an investment. In mid 2022, that investment stopped performing. I started asking questions. I saw what I thought was wrong and a tremendous opportunity to fix it. At the request of many others, I joined the team to try and fix LTNC. I've also made those types of investments into Golden Triangle. I was the note holder. At the request of the former CEO, he asked me to please do something with the note so that his shareholders had somewhat of a brighter future. He thought that would help. I accommodated him, and in the process, sold my notes, took a major haircut in doing so. And since then, Golden Triangle, not only has the previous management, I believe, left, there's a new CEO in town, and that's none other than Javier. So our circle in the OTC market is somewhat small, but there is no formal ties, there's no financial ties that LTNC has with GTVH. I'm hoping they blow up go fast, and I'm hoping we can help sell it, like Scott said. And he's the one that negotiated that deal, by the way, not me. He's the one that negotiated the percentage of the brand upon sellout, upon it being sold. And Javier's like, why am I going to give you part of my brand if you sell it? And Scott said, because it's going to be our brands that explode it nationally. And we want a piece of that. So they worked together to create that wonderful relationship in the sale agreement. Does that answer your question? Feel
Yeah.
free to. Okay.
I have a quick question also. You sold the container to the Middle East. Whatever
Yeah.
happened? How'd you do there? Did you sell good? Was there a reorder? I haven't heard anything about that.
I will take personal responsibility for the lack of follow up on that. We did sell it. It was going into the hotels and the pharmacies. And frankly, we just have not focused on that market. But I thank you for the prompting. I will personally reach out to Khalil before I go to bed tonight and get
I'll
an
be
answer.
on that. I'll be honest with you. That as a salesman, that's terrible follow up. If you sold a container, it's probably one of your biggest sales. If full container to a customer, and you don't follow up, that's really very disheartening. It's very troubling.
Well, you're only going to get.
I'm a business owner. I sell Walmart. If I don't call Walmart back, they're not calling me. Nobody needs you. You got to follow up. You got to push your business. You have Manny Pacquiao. Why aren't you trying to sell in the Philippines? These are
What?
simple things.
I know, Greeny. Listen, I think first of all, point point noted on the follow up. That doesn't mean that somebody at our company has not reached out or spoken to him. I'll get some more details on that because I would like to follow that up.
And
Okay,
I'll
and
give you another thing as sales pitches. You know what? There's guys like Walgreens, CVS, and all these things. You could put a consignment deal together. Move your goods. Get them out there. You can't be in business direct to consumer. That's not happening. It's not. It won't be a successful business if you're depending on direct consumer business. It's a pie in the sky.
We
I
know
just
that,
hope you
Greenie.
guys are focusing on retail because that is the business.
We know that, Greenie. That's why, there's a real challenge here. I don't know if it was you. I think it was you that said you got product that you weren't happy with the smell, right?
Yes, it's
That
happened a
okay.
few times. Your
Okay, so
customer service was good. I'll tell you
oh,
that. Your customer service was good.
well, I don't know if that was Chuck or David. They're both fabulous. So thank you for that. Here's something we have to deal with in business. Okay, on the direct to consumer, we have to guess what we're going to sell. We have to finance it, we have to make it, we have to ship it, we have to store it, and then we have to ship it to the customer. That's the direct to consumer. Let's take what Scott and Brad are doing with Adios. Their mantra is sell it first, then make it. So now we shift gears into the retail where Scott says, okay, you've got 85,000 cases sold. Now we go to our manufacturer, we finance that production. That product will not sit. That is sold and sold through to distribution. So these are the
How long?
challenges. So when hang on, Greenie, let me finish. So
Go
now
ahead.
let's take your example. Tom, just make a bunch of product and don't worry about it. You'll get it into Walgreens, you'll get it here, you'll get it there on consignment. Then you're kind of taking the direct to consumer model to a whole new level. You're deploying capital, you're taking risk with manufactured best buy dates and products that expire and taking that
Yeah.
precious capital and throwing it out hoping something sticks. That's not a good business plan. The business plan we're following is the one that Brad and Scott outlined. Sell it first, then make it. And that's exactly what we're doing. So when that product is made, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, it goes from the line to the pallet to the shrink wrap machine to the truck to the distributor. And then hopefully within the next 14 to 30 days, your garage where you're playing pool with your buddies and enjoying our tequila RTD. Does
So
that
you
make
want
sense?
your, it makes sense. You know what? It makes sense when I sell a product that I'm selling. I go out to my retailer. I ask for what he wants to buy down the line. Takes me 3 4 months to produce and deliver. So you're telling me that me as a consumer, direct to consumer, you want me to order something and wait 30 40 days for it? You think customers are going to wait?
No, 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 no. We're not doing that. We are making the nootropics, the coffee, the alkaline, the artesian, and the hydrogen water. Those are all in production, being manufactured, shipped to our shipping warehouse. We've consolidated into one out of Atlanta, and it's going to be available. So when you and Russ get their orders, they're going to be at your house in 4 or 5 days from the time you order. We're doing that on a small scale with our direct to consumer. We know we have to keep you guys happy. Not only are you our shareholders, you're our customers, and you're also our greatest surveyors. You tell us when something doesn't work. We've got new flavors coming out. Who do you think? I had the conversation with Scott and Brad. I said, I want to do a limited run, new flavors, get it in the hands of our shareholders. They'll tell you if retail's going to like it. You're going to know in 4 minutes flat. These are the real conversations we have. So
I
no,
hear that, but you have this product, the hydrogen water, which is fantastic. I'm a
thank you.
tennis player. I play. I use it. I get back in shape and right after I take it, it's like unbelievable product. You guys should focus on what works. You're trying to do too many things, and there's a great adage: know what you're doing. I mean, do what you know and know what you're doing. You guys are trying to do too many things. You got to keep it simple. You know that simple. You know that saying that they say in AA: "Keep it simple, stupid." It's
Absolutely.
simple.
Kiss.
You know,
Yeah,
once
we're
right.
doing
Yeah,
that,
okay.
Greenie.
All
Yeah,
right.
Greenie.
So
We're doing that.
you
Adios. Adios is our focus. Then and Sencora is right behind it. And while we're doing that, we're getting all of our items made, manufactured, and shipped for direct to consumer. Those are the three things we're focusing on right now. Okay.
okay? All right. I'm excited, but very frustrated. Very
Cautiously
frustrated.
cautiously optimistic, Greenie. How's that?
All right, I'm going to try to do that. I just can't. It's just
I
I
know.
want you don't understand how excited I was last month with the new thing and this and then you know what? I bought more shares, and I'm disappointed. And I'm a guy that likes to put it out. I'm busy all day long. I'm running a really large company, but I love to tweet and show my frustration. I'm for you. My friends are for you. I love what you guys are doing. I just want to see you guys on the board already.
We all do. Hang in there, Greenie. Mikey, who's next?
Thank you,
Thank
Greeny.
you.
You
Thank
got
Thank you,
it,
you.
Greenie.
Greeny. We just got to put some points on the board. You're 100%
That's
right.
it. That's
I
it.
got Bull. I got Bull to answer your question, Tom, about the
Oh, okay.
shorting. Bull,
Big
Bull.
bull.
Go ahead, Big Bull. Thanks, Greeny.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tom, I don't know how accurate those reports are. I think a lot of that
Okay.
data is skewed, to be honest with you.
Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Thank you. I truly, even when I was just trading, you know, all day, every day, I never knew what was real and what wasn't. So when it came to those reports. So thank you for clarity.
You got it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Jose, I'm going to add you as the speaker. Jose, go ahead. Oh, something must be wrong with Jose's. That
Can you
was
hear
our
me?
last question, unless somebody else raises their hand.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. I just want to say thank you to all of you for all the great work you guys are doing. I just have a couple of questions. I'm a consumer, also an investor. As a consumer, I noticed that, I've been waiting a long time to get it says out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. And I've been waiting. I do want to buy the product. I love the tamarindo and I love the pineapple coconut, but sometimes it's out of stock. And just want to know if you have something in place to get those, to get more frequent, to be, less out of stock. The other question is my little girl is asking, you know, do you think maybe one day, uh, someone maybe from the Middle East, maybe might put in some big investment? I know that Mr. Tom, a while ago, I mean, last year's uh, shareholder meeting, he pointed out that I caught my attention was maybe this could be a target of acquisition, maybe sometime in the future. But my little girl is asking, you think maybe Pepsi, Coca-Cola might be interested one day? Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
I want to answer part of that, and then I want Brad to answer the other. So, as far as tamarindo and pineapple coconut, I think those are both on the manufacturing calendar, and hopefully will be available for shipping by not this coming Friday, but next Friday. So please stay patient on that. And then with all the new processes Brad and Scott are putting in, I'm hoping that we'll never have out of stock situations again. So thank you for your patience on that. As far as, when we talk about big company buyouts, the Cokes, the Pepsis of the world, Brad Wyatt, I've said it since day one. And from the minute I met him, he's going to be a great CEO for our company. And one of the reasons is when we get big, he knows how to deal with it. Brad's managed income statements and balance sheets for companies with hundreds of millions of dollars on it. So, Brad, I don't know if I don't think anybody's coming to buy us tomorrow. I think we've got to earn that. But do you want to just take 30 seconds on that and answer Jose's question?
Well, yeah, thank you. One of the strategies that we talked about as we pivoted away from just your standard regional distribution is to get more into the brand ownership, whether it be through creating a brand like we did with Adios, a JV, also like we did with Adios, or creating the brand from scratch or a spinoff of the brand that you currently own. Nobody really knows what's going to hit the next big cycle of the big guys wanting to take over. But that's why we create these brands. If we can get the market penetration to a level of sales, not just regionally, but across the nation and or globally, that makes you a target. And that is one of the strategies, because if we have 3, 4, 5 brands, creating a new brand once every year or two, and we start selling some of these brands or a portion of the brand off, that's how you create some incredible wealth. And that is part of the strategy that we're taking part of.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No problem. We're going to go on to Russ. Russ, go ahead, Russ.
and stuff. The lawsuits. What's going on with all the lawsuits?
Okay, so I'll take that. The Arizona case is there's a settlement offer being floated. Hopefully, we can get that extinguished before we move into full blown discovery. The PFL lawsuit and the Depolito lawsuit. Fortunately and unfortunately, a judgment was placed on takeover for the Depolito um, lawsuit. The takeover was found liable for breach of contract, and Mr. Depoletto was awarded a judgment against takeover. It is unfortunate, but I believe tomorrow or the next day you will see a bankruptcy filing for takeover. We all
Okay.
Many of us invested in takeover at the beginning. It was our first love, and this team did everything they could to save it for the shareholders, for the creditors, and the investors. And at this point, with the judgment being the final stake in the coffin, I think it's time to just let it go. So once that bankruptcy is filed, then there should be a stay in the case of Nevada, uh, at least temporarily. Hopefully, we can continue to talk to Mr. Depoletto and get him settled. And the case in New York, I imagine, will be terminated with a bankruptcy because the PFL was coming after takeover.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, and hopefully we get some good news here in the next couple of weeks or by the end of this week.
Thank you, Russ. Have a good night.
Yep. Yeah. Bye.
Thanks, Russ.
Dr. J just wanted to send his regards to everybody.
Oh, is he going to talk?
No,
I
he's
I'd love to
actually
hear his
on
voice.
a meeting right now about some DJ stuff or whatever it is, but
Oh,
he
big
sent a
shot,
message.
big
But
shot.
pretty much that was it, Tom. I haven't had any questions sent in, and nobody's raising their hand. So we just got to put some points on the board. I always say it, you got to put points on the board. Can't celebrate until there's points on the board. Hopefully, points on the board soon. Anybody else got anything to say? Tom, Scott, Brad?
No, appreciate everybody. Uh, this has been a wild ride. Shar has always told us there's going to be a movie made soon. I can't wait because I'm really hoping for the happy ending that we're really planning and praying for everybody. So with that, I will shut up. See if Brad and Scott want to say something, or if any of the other board members are on. You
Tom,
know,
we got somebody that raised their hand named Isaac. Do you want me to put this guy on?
yeah. Why would you discriminate against him? Isaac is a wonderful young man. He does phenomenal things for our company. Uh, and I personally enjoy everything Isaac does for us. So yeah, what does Isaac got to say?
Isaac, go ahead.
Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? I hope y'all are excited. Our brands are going to be featured. Sorry, guys, I'm with my daughter. I hope you guys are excited. A lot of great things are happening. Your brand is going to be seen everywhere, all over Univision. You're going to have it just blow up, take off. This team is legit the best team I've ever worked with. Tom, Brad, Scott, Luis, amazing people. And I hope you guys are excited. I'm going to go eat pizza. I'll see y'all later.
Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Isaac.
Yeah, Tom's a good guy. I love him. So
Thank you, Isaac. Appreciate everything you do for
you're
us,
due
bro.
for another rib shot by Brandon. The fight is
Oh
coming
yeah,
soon.
I'm ready, bro.
Okay.
I'm ready. Oh, what did I give him? You called me when he was sitting there. What did I do? Oh, it's Tamarindo. Did you
Yeah,
get all that updated?
yeah, we got everything. You actually guys are gonna see the brand new fit, Brandon on the can debut. It looks insane. It's Brandon at tip top shape, which I believe aligns with our brand's look. So, we gotta have the brand looking top of the line because that's what we are, top of the line. So let's kill it. Appreciate all y'all. And actually, the Locked In movie really is going to be a thing. I'm really filming that. I've actually documented the entire thing from the start to now. So
Excellent, excellent.
that'd be cool if it hits the theaters and we make it into something great. So appreciate y'all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Isaac.
Bye.
I'll tell you, Tom, for a company you've been in charge for, you got 37 people that want to make movies.
I'm ready to take the first offer. I'm ready to
you
take the
know,
first
Tom,
offer.
Tom, I don't know. I don't know if you want those movies made at this point. Uh, we got a couple more people that raised their hand. One of them I'm almost afraid to call in. He's one of my good friends, but I got to call him here. Hold on one second. Tom, this is Hags.
Oh, okay. Last from the one of
Yeah,
the OG, one of the
yeah.
OG. Hey,
I can't wait for this one.
Just let me know when you guys have money so we could hire a real marketing company. I'm sick of the bullshit, man. It's awful. You guys got to do better. That's all I got. Have a good night.
okay,
Oh,
well, thanks, Hatch. I don't know if this would be an appropriate time to discuss it, but I think a company that has done a phenomenal job marketing their products and taking something that grows in the jungle out of a seed into a $1 billion plus company. I think we know their name. It's called Cookies. I think they maybe have something to say about marketing with LTNC. What do you think, Scott?
Agreed.
I've got the I've got crypto as a speaker now. Crypto,
Yeah,
crypto.
what's
Go
up,
ahead.
everybody?
How you doing?
All right, all right. Just listening to y'all.
What's your question, bud?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have a question?
Oh, no, no. I
Okay,
just like y'all
you raised your
conversation.
hand. You raised your hand. No problem at all. Thank you.
Thanks for joining, Crypto.
Right.
That was the greatest caller ever. We didn't get yelled at or nothing. Crypto, you have the call of the night. Tom, let's finish this off here. Let me give a little sound
Please,
here.
because I'm working. Luis, thank
All
you.
right.
Luis has made it clear that he's expecting a call after Spaces, and his words exactly. Don't be under pressure because I need to speak to you. That means I got work to do still. So unless you have any more questions, I got to go. Uh,
I
but
I got
before
one
I,
more. I got
okay,
one
go
more.
for it. Go for it.
Shar, go ahead.
Tom,
Hey,
hi guys. Tom,
hi, Shar.
I just want to say thank you so much for getting us trading and and continuing this fight, trying to keep it alive and going, and thanks to the new managers and all the executive members. I just want to remind people on this call that this is a stock market. This is a publicly traded company. Okay. People come in and people go out, and if you believe in the company, then you hold on. But people take profits, people cut their losses. And I really encourage some of these people in here to study the stock market and study how it operates, because I think a lot of people have high expectations, and they sit around and wait for something to happen. And guys, the stock ran from 0.001 to 8 cents. Then we went through all kinds of drama, and hopefully that movie does happen soon. And we have a movie that comes out of this. But we went through all kinds of drama, and there was people that worked tirelessly to figure out all the puzzles of the drama, putting it all back together, getting people out of the drama, and getting new people in. There were so many sleepless nights. There was a lot of sacrifices that went through to getting this company put back together. And Tom put a lot of his own money into this to get it trading again. Tom Lewis, the Manny Pacquiao Foundation. There was lawsuits that were happening, and we did that, and we got it trading. And then it went to 2 cents, and you're supposed to secure profits, and then you can always go back and buy the dips, and then you sell, and then you get back in. And this is a OTC stocks are pretty much speculative plays, and a lot of people just don't know how the stock market operates. And they don't, like, public companies don't sit on calls with their investors. So we're very lucky to even have this happening with the insiders. So I just want to say thanks, Tom, and thanks for all your hard work to the board, Mike A, Brad, Scott, Mikey, Lewis. I haven't been around. I kind of distance myself from the stock, but I do appreciate it, and I speak for me and Andrew. Thank you so much for getting it trading, and we just watch, and we get in, and it looks like it's a great place right now to buy. I have a question. Are you guys still gonna do the crypto route with Ryan?
Um, I'll answer that. So, first of all, Shar, nice to hear your voice. Thank you for all your help. You've never gotten credit officially for all the help to get us trading at the beginning when it was in expert markets and defunct. I don't even know what the word is, disband, whatever the word is. You were very instrumental in helping with all the things that were necessary to get it moving. So, including your encouragement almost every day. So, thank you for all that, Shar. Um, as far as crypto with Ryan, so okay, look, I there's been a lot of commentary on this. A couple of our avid supporters, like Chestnut Checkers and guys who I really like that are not always favorable in their opinions, but I do like them and respect their opinions. Have really put a lot of heat on that. So everything we do here as a board is for the benefit of the shareholders. If we can buy crypto, put it on our balance sheet, have it grow over time in a passive income type way where it doesn't take away from anything else we're doing, that would be a good bet for the shareholders. Everybody knows Ryan is a friend of mine. So if I have an opportunity to assist a friend in the process, I would love to do it. However, all that said, I still don't see that the concept has been proven yet, and our company is not in a position to take risks. So I will say this. I do believe I've done a lot of research on Ryan's OTC5. I am a personal holder in that, personal, not corporate, not LTNC. And I do believe his plan is going to make sense over time. In fact, I remember speaking to him in the last few days. He was kind of bummed it took a big dip. And I said, Ryan, you got to put a 1 to 2 year horizon on this. Stop expecting it to explode and stay explosive. Just what you're doing in the way of depleting supply over time, burning tokens, and bringing value to the shareholders, MVCO and OTC5. He thanked me for that. So, with that said, that's my view on this. If it presents an opportunity for us, and maybe not his uh, token, maybe another, then I'll bring it to the board, and the board will make a decision. At this point, nothing's been proven, and if I do anything with OTC Fi Metavesco, uh, I would probably finance it and fund it myself personally, donate it to LTNC with no expectation of payback, and see how it went. And when I say I would do that, it would be a very small speculative position. But no decisions have been made. And at this point, I don't see it in the next at least week or two. I'm still waiting
Got
to
it.
evaluate.
Well, you know what, Tom? I think the thing is, I think Ryan's just trying to get liquidity back into small caps and OTCs, especially the OTC market that's been dried out because of interest rates. As you guys know, the feds have not cut the interest rates in almost 3 years. So, therefore, small caps, mid caps, and OTC stocks, penny stocks, have all been depleted. And so let's get these rate cuts done. As you guys know, I'm a full time trader. I trade the S&P 500. And if we get these rate cuts, and we'll find out next week, I think we're going to see small caps really rocking. Today, I'll tell you one thing. There was this one stock, QMMM. Look it up. It went literally from 56 cents, Tom, to $250.
Oh my goodness. And what options or stock?
It was a penny stock. QMMM.
Oh my.
Look, yeah.
Okay.
So the
I
the
will.
small, and that's not just that's just one of the small caps that went crazy. There was another one. What was it?
God
Anyway, there
bless
was
the
another one that
OTC.
went to like $40 from like $2. There's so many stocks going crazy right now in the small caps world. Small caps are heating up. The IWM is heating up. So what they're doing right now is they're money rotating. So they're taking money out of the big caps, which have been really doing well since COVID. They've been all just doing really well, a lot of big money. But now they're reversing and they're taking some of that money out of, like, the big magnificent sevens and the S&P 500s, and they're throwing them into small caps and mid caps. So that will help the OTC sector. It really will. I truly believe. And if we get these rate cuts, they're pricing in 3 rate cuts this year. So if we get these 3 rate cuts, I think you're going to see a lot of liquidity coming back into the OTC sector.
Thank you, Sharp.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Good night. Tom Kip raised his hand and then he put it down. So Shar was the last speaker. You want to finish this off?
Kip, I responded to your email. You sent it to me yesterday, and I added team members. I hope that I don't think I saw a response from you after that. So just know I responded to your email yesterday. If there was
He's the
anything else,
speaker. He's
oh,
the speaker right now.
okay.
We'll take him as our last question, and then we'll close it out.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kip.
I wouldn't say last question. I have too many angles that I should be coming. And, every time I've stepped up on this mic, I'm always jovial. I always got positive things to say. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep it that way. I'm going to try and keep it PG. Not going to be cursing, not going to be swearing. But there's just been too many inconsistencies flooding through this company. Not on you. I know it's not on you guys, Tom. You guys came in, took over everything, did an amazing job recreating everything, repurposing everything, and actually giving a proper vision on where we were headed. The issue is, like a lot of people already coming here and said, you get product that's late, you get product that smells bad, you get like too many small things that should have been ironed out years ago, literally before you. So when you got in and you started ironing them all out, they were all supposed to have been finalized before this new bringing in of new companies and new partnerships. And like, there's too much going on now. Like I said, you got to focus on the things that you can do and can manage. And one of my biggest things is, well, actually, for starters, I sent you email today because I haven't reached out to the team in a while due to a few issues and due to me being down bad because I invested heavily in this company and a few other companies, and the OTC market isn't going to just heat up and light up. I know, Sharmila, you think it might do it. No, this company is supposed to be a special thing. It's not supposed to be about the OTC just getting all this volume now and people rotate money. No, when you have a tangible company, something that's solidified, something that's good, something that's better than, dare I say it, fucking Prime. I said I wasn't going to swear, but I can't help it. We should not be allowing companies like that to come in and do what they do and take over the scene that we created. And then all these other companies following suit, trying to do what we have done since day one. Water in cans, nootropic this, gamer shots, like literally everything we have written. And if you are putting this in a movie, make sure you get it all in detail. Everything we have written has come to fruition and either been stolen or like virtually just given away for no reason. Like, we don't do anything with what we have. We don't market the way we're supposed to. And in that message I sent you, like, I didn't get to finish my degree here. I came to this university for a double major, marketing and public relations. And I'm 34 now. I literally thought I would be somewhere in this world to the point where I can do things inclusively in companies like this, making sure that the world can have a better reality than what every other company seems to give them. We don't want our kids to die from drinking bad stuff. We don't want you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the reality we live in. We have companies, like I said, dare I say it, they influence our kids to do what they do and be the way they are. And then we end up having lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit with these companies. And you can go look at it right now on record. They're taking big hits because of how they've managed to not do what they need to do and be one of the healthiest things for our kids in 2025. It's hottest summers on record, and people aren't drinking locked in. I don't understand. Like, I'm
Well,
over
we're
here with
doing, Kip.
universities.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me.
I'm telling everybody about this. Everybody and their moms. I'm still wearing the shirts you guys gave me, the hats. They're like raggly looking now, but I'm still wearing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, reach out
it's
to Scott. Reach out to Scott and let him get you another shirt. Kip, we hear you. We appreciate your passion and enthusiasm. I answered your email. Just stick with us. Stick with us. The story ain't over yet. Okay, Kip? Just hang in there.
Don't get me started on the crypto. Don't get me started.
And we won't. Mikey, let these people go to bed. Mikey, let these people
All
go to
right.
bed.
Thank you, Kip.
All right, go ahead.
Appreciate it.
Go to sleep. Get y'all some rest. I'll
Thank
be
you,
back.
Kip. Thank you, Kip.
Well, Tom, I think today was a pretty important spaces.
Well, like I
Um,
said, the people, I promised an update a week or two ago. Today was the day to do it. I saw the downside and the opportunity to, answer the questions. Look, the shareholders, this is our family. These are our friends. We've met them. We spent time with them. We've met their kids. None of that's changed. I don't like to see everybody anxious and upset. We're doing all we can to make sure that's not the status quo, that's an anomaly, and let's just hope and pray everything comes to fruition. There's no promises. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We've heard that from somebody way bigger than me, but we're going to wake up and work hard and try and do our best for you guys. Okay, Brad, Scott, you got anything else to close us out?
I have one more question, and this one is from me.
Okay.
Okay, and I did not pregame you on this or not. It's a real simple one. Do we have any update from any of you of when the new name will be released? And the
Good.
reason I asked that is because tonight we mentioned the website, with the companies and the updates, and that was a great, big bull trading mentioned that, and it all stems from when the name is going to be released. Do we have any kind of time frame from that?
In anticipation of that question, and no, we did not pregame it, but I figured it would come up. I called the person that's in charge of that. I was told the 15th was the commitment, the 15th, so a week from now.
So we could have a new name as early as I don't want to put dates out there because I believe me, I don't
Yeah,
like dates.
this
I
is
think all the
Brad's
boys know
department.
I don't like dates, but
Yeah,
you could possibly see a new name by the end of the month, maybe by the end of next month. We'll give ourselves a 6 or 7 week window.
yeah. This is Brad's department. I did the
Yep.
follow up on it today because Brad was on other calls, and I was told the 15th. So I can only tell you what we've been told. I can't. I don't want to
Okay,
Hey,
extend it or
hey,
shorten it.
hey,
I got to be straight.
hey, Mikey.
gotcha.
I'm going to retract that. Tom can't say the 15th because
Okay.
we'll be getting phone calls. No,
Yeah,
Tom.
we're not. He meant the 15th of next year.
No, not that. I'll be upset if that's the case. No.
But no, that was a question that, guys, that wasn't planned or anything, but I have been seeing it pop up. Guys, listen, you got any questions, you always can send them to spaces at locked in. Tom will get the questions. If he can answer them when he gives an update or Brad gives an update or whatever, they always can be thrown in there. I know sometimes I read on the internet that they sent an email to Scott, they sent an email here. These guys get to your emails. I know they do, but at the end of the day, they have hundreds and hundreds of emails, and Spaces that Locked In gets one a month. So it's they will definitely be seen right away, and then I can pass it on. But thanks a lot, everybody. Everybody have a good night, and until next time. Anything else, Tom?
Have a great night, everybody. Appreciate your support.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Good night, everybody.